The coroner's inquest into the death of a Mexican woman who committed suicide in custody while awaiting deportation began in Burnaby on Monday. Province reporter Susan Lazarick is in Burnaby covering the case. Susan, what happened today?
They've opened a 5-day inquest into the death of a Mexican woman who committed suicide in custody. She was awaiting deportation. She had sneaked into Canada through the bushes in Surrey, we heard today at the coroner's inquest. And the jury members, there's 5 of them, will determine, first of all, they'll hear how and when and where she died and then make any recommendations, if any, to prevent similar deaths from happening in future.
What have we learned about the woman, Lucia Vega Jimenez?
Well, she was working here, and she apparently had come, as we heard, that she had told the CBSA that she had come through the bushes, and she didn't report to Canada border officials when she arrived because she knew she was here when she shouldn't be here. She was working odd jobs. She was on the SkyTrain in December 2013, and through a routine check, as the officers do, determined that she didn't have her fare. She gave 2 fake names to the police officer until he threatened her with obstruction. She brought out her proper ID, and then he ran that name through CBSA officials and determined that she was in the country illegally. So the CBSA officials, we heard today at the inquest, came to arrest her, and she was taken into custody at YVR. There's a holding cell there.
Did any of the lawyers have any comment on the morning proceedings?
Yeah, outside court today, a number of the reporters were commenting on the whole, the way that detainees who are here illegally in Canada are held in cells. That there's a holding center at the YVR, and apparently it's very austere. It's got cinder block walls. There's no windows in there. And Phil Rankin, he's the lawyer representing the Canadian Council for Refugees. He said he'd like to see those cells closed or brought up to provincial jail standards, because he says that these people aren't criminals, and they're in fact being held in conditions that are worse than we hold our criminals in.